Radiant team ban. LGD's turn to ban.
Guys, we finally made it. We loaded. So welcome back to the
10
SinaCup. This is
remaining.
our first best of 3 of the evening. It's our winner bracket final, and it's LGD China up against Vici Gaming. I'm
Radiant
Basecap here
team
providing
pick.
coverage on behalf of Beyond the Summit, and it's my pleasure to finally welcome back Winter, though I think I currently have him muted, so I'm going to unmute him and say hi. Hey Winter, what's going on?
I feel great. Finally, the game started.
LGD.
Finally.
Yes, I'm very
turn to
happy as
pick.
well. I'm beyond words. So let's get ourselves underway. For anybody wondering what the cause of the delay was, if you weren't paying attention to chat, one of the Chinese commentators was unable to load. So it looks like we finally solved that problem. I hope it doesn't recur for any of the other games this evening, and we're just going to be able to play the winner bracket final and the lower bracket final out. We've actually got a lot of Dota lined up this
LGD's
evening, especially
turn
if
to
any of
pick.
these games go
Radiant
the
team
distance.
pick.
So far, pretty familiar draft, but Vici Gaming are going to be
Radiant
opening things up with a
team
Pugna.
ban.
So this is where stuff gets exciting.
Yeah, they even gave up the Timbersaw to get the Pugna and Visage. They look like a team that has something in store for us. They have a specific special plan going on. Pugna is actually really good
10
towards the
seconds
Timbersaw.
remaining.
He's gonna take a lot of damage from the wards if he doesn't build a Black King
5
bar in the team
seconds
fight.
remaining.
Yeah, and it does help to negate a little bit of the
Reserve time.
early game power of the Timber. Plus, he's very mana dependent. So if he doesn't get off to an okay start and Vici Gaming start pushing really heavily with the Pugna, it can be an alright way to deal with him. But Vici, what are you expecting to see? Are we just expecting to see the staples of this kind of pushing lineup? So maybe a DK or a Luna or a Chen? Or do you think we might see something a little bit different? I guess it is a little bit too early to tell.
Well, there's a lot of directions that can go for. Like sometimes the Pugna pick is just going to throw the enemy off. They are going to use the Pugna as just a normal semi-core, and they still have another 2 cores that can fight. So it's really hard to tell. Like most of the time, you see the common ones are Dragon Knight Pugna or even Lone Druid plus Pugna and another temple control hero. So they have a lot of
LGD's
stuff they can go
turn to
for right
ban.
now.
And interestingly enough, Vici Gaming actually
Radiant
worried
team
about
ban.
Anti-Mage here. So, not a hero that I would expect to see banned if we're going to be seeing your typical really fast push style, just because before 25 minutes, the hero doesn't really do all that much. So do you think Vici Gaming
10
might have
seconds
something a little
remaining.
bit different in mind, or are they just sick of Anti-Mage?
5 seconds remaining.
This might mean two things. Number one is they don't want the anti-mage to be able to split push, and anti-mage can kill Pugna
Reserve
very
time.
easily. Because if LGD's anti-mage usually gets a backing bar and he joins fights, so maybe they are worried about that. If we see the next ban is a Gyrocopter, then we will know roughly what's Vici Gaming's plan. Because Gyro and anti-mage, these two are really good against Pugna.
Yeah, they're both, well, Gyrocopter especially, I guess, is a core ranged carry that can just farm a BKB first item and still have quite a bit of relevance in the team fight.
Most importantly is the defensive capabilities that a Gyro
LGD's
has.
turn to ban.
Drop a call down, that's a wave completely cleared. You get your flak cannon as well. And I guess also nice if you get stalled right outside of the base, the Gyrocopter can hold for a really long time, even against, Necrobook
10
pushes.
seconds
So-
remaining.
But instead, Vici Gaming are going to get rid of the Kunkka here. The LGD
5
preparing for the
seconds
push a little bit,
remaining.
do ban out the Lone Druid, and wouldn't be too surprised to see another pusher go the same way
Reserve
here with
time.
the second ban.
Maybe the Dragon Knight. That's the next best pusher that Vici Gaming have.
LGD's turn to pick.
They still have the Chen though if they want to go Chen plus Visage. It's a little bit difficult to kill
Radiant
heroes like
team
Weaver if they
pick.
do that.
Yeah, and Weaver does give them that split push element that that you touched on with the anti-mage. So I think a nice pickup here for LGD. I guess the other thing that we didn't really talk about with the Timbersaw too much is that he is actually kind of difficult to push into. He's going to get his levels on the off lane, fairly, well, pretty much no question. and then pushing into the chakram can be a real
LGD's
pain. So
turn
that's
to
already a
pick.
deterrent for Vici Gaming for going, I guess, for the really summon heavy push. So Chen and Nature's Prophet, things like that, just because the Timbersaw can clear waves so quickly. But looks like LGD, they're going to be the ones
Radiant
going for the
team
Chen.
pick.
So we've got a little bit of push v push right now.
Maybe this is just to try and stop Vici Gaming from getting him. Maybe they are worried, or they just want to have the chance to fight early. They want to go and challenge the Vici Gaming early game push. Well, having the Chen will give you the edge no matter what. If you build an early mech and you have the Hand of God and your Chen creeps, that's going to be super helpful. And the Chen creeps can be helpful to take out the
10
Nether Wart
seconds
as well.
remaining.
Do you think Vici Gaming are planning to run this Nyx Assassin as a support, or are
5
you
seconds
expecting to see
remaining.
maybe a Nyx Assassin mid? Because Visage and Nyx Assassin as your two supports is
Reserve
pretty
time.
greedy, to say the least.
I feel it's most likely a support because Pugna is usually Super's hero and ROTK doesn't play Nyx Assassin as position 3, so it would most likely be a Nyx Assassin as a support, I would say.
Okay.
A very high chance. They can still do something else with it, but I don't think that will happen.
Yeah. And Vici Gaming still going for this early to mid game.
LGD's turn to
But
ban.
a little bit more teamfight oriented here, I guess, are going to end up grabbing the Bristleback. And Bristleback's a hero that we've been seeing a lot of recently. I think RTK had a recent interview with some of the SinaCup guys, some of the Team Roshan guys, and
10 seconds
he had a lot to
remaining.
say about how powerful he thought this Bristleback was. So I guess not too surprising
5
to see it
seconds
picked up here.
remaining.
He's very suitable in the one of the core positions, especially position 3 right
Reserve
now,
time.
where you get some levels from the offlane, and you have the ability to farm, and it's not that easy for Bristleback to die anyway. So in a team fight, he contributes a lot, especially the way the Chinese teams have been using him. He's just like a tank up front. Sometimes he gets the mecha, so it opens up options for other heroes to get other items since the Bristleback can get a mech, and he's really good at 5-man pushes. They are always preferring that Bristleback as a 5-man push, the tank in the 5-man push. They are not using that much of Lone Druid anymore.
Yeah. I guess the one thing to talk about is that the fact that the Timbersaw, if he gets a little bit ahead, then the Bristleback is going to have some trouble. He's going to be bursted down. Whichever one of them has the superior farm is going to be a real nightmare in team fights for the other team. Though we'll see. Just because there is the Chen, if Vici Gaming maybe get up there, place a nice vision ward that doesn't really block anything out, the Bristleback, assuming that he's on the offlane, should be able to get quite a bit of farm in the early to mid game.
Yeah, and I feel that the
Radiant
Nyx Assassin
team
here
ban.
is a really good pickup as well. Like the mana burn is good against the Timbersaw, and Nyx is a very good hero to catch out the Weaver. One of the few supports that can catch out the Weaver quite relatively easily. Like as long as you hit the Impale, you don't really need to hit the Vendetta
10
strike because
seconds
most of the time the
remaining.
Weaver might be able to react away from it. Like you can try
seconds
Vendetta strike and
remaining.
spike Carapace to make if the Weaver Shukuchis, then he gets stunned, then you can use your Impale. But if the
10
Weaver doesn't
seconds
do it and
remaining.
he uses time lapse and he goes to somewhere else, then you probably will fail the gank.
LGD's turn to pick.
And we did have the Nyx Assassin picked up after the Weavers, so it looks like Vici Gaming do want at least some answer to the split push power later on. But Vici Gaming just going to get rid of a Night Stalker, LGD choosing to get rid of the Clinks, and just wrapping
Radiant
things up with the
team
Bat
pick.
Riders. So they've got pretty good team fight, they've got some good push, and they add some nice initiation on top of that with the Bat.
Yeah, the Bat Rider is a very, very good pickup to complete their lineup. They needed someone to initiate, and Rubik is going to be finding it hard to walk up front, especially with the Visage Familiars and the Pugna Ward. So before he has the dagger, he can't engage. So with the Bat Rider, there's someone else to do the job, and the Rubik can just
10
sit behind and
seconds
try to get
remaining.
Impale or even other good spells like the Nether Ward or the
5
Visage
seconds
Soul
remaining.
Assumption.
And for Vici Gaming here, looking for their mid is just going to end up being the Storm Spirits. So really nice to have against the Weaver, another hero to put some solid pressure down.
Farming
on
Pugna.
him.
Farming Pugna, it seems.
Yeah, looks like it is going to be your one roll Pugna probably down on the safe lane and Storm up against the Bat Rider. I guess the Storm also nice to have against the Bat. If you jump him before he jumps anybody on your team, should hopefully be able to burn him down. Though there is going to be a mech and a Hand of God likely backing him up. So guys, welcome back to the SinaCup. This is our first game of our first best of 3 of the evening. Fingers crossed I'm not going to have any issues with the Perfect World servers. So far it seems okay, though we are of course paused. So it's Vici Gaming versus LGD. And let's quickly introduce our team. So over on Vici Gaming, we've got Fenrir on the Visage, we've got Sylar on the Pugna, FI will be your Nyx Assassin, RTK on the Bristleback, and Super will be the Storm Spirit.
And for LGD, we have Yao on the Timbersaw, DD on the Chen, DDC on the Rubik, Rabbit or Xiaotuji on the Weaver, and the Captain, the Director on the Bat Rider.
Yeah, so who actually paused? So RTK paused. Looks like we just need a moment.
So it's gonna be a Bat Rider mid lane against the Storm. That would be quite good for the Bat Rider.
Yeah, it is a fairly good matchup for the Bat. I guess it's a little bit weaker than it used to be just because of the base damage changes, and it's not, the Storm Spirit isn't really a hero that the Bat Rider can man up against so much, just because you drop a couple of remnants and it's hard to run in. But
it's still alright for the Storm, especially like he's in the Radiant side. Every time he pushes the lane out, he can just go jungle to avoid being stacked up too much by the Bat and showing the Bat opportunities to be able to kill him before the Storm reaches level 6. So most likely the playstyle of this game Storm will be just to push out the lane, go into stacking of the jungles. Something like what Mushi does on Bat Rider on Radiant. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
Yeah,
like
he doesn't pressure people at all. He just pushes out the wave, goes and stacks the jungle, and focuses on getting his Blink Dagger timing. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see something similar from Super, just because the big reason that he's been picked this game is to farm an Orchid and to put pressure on the Weaver. So if he doesn't accomplish that goal, then all of a sudden the pick is maybe a little bit less valuable. So I agree with you. We might see a similar style from Super here.
Yes, actually sending the Timbersaw middle, they feel that the Timbersaw would be a better matchup against the Storm. And the Bat Rider would be at bottom. Who are they expecting at the bottom lane? Oh, they are actually expecting a tri-lane with this, and the bottom lane would be ROTK. So they want to put... But even Timbersaw against Bristleback is alright, I feel. They feel that the Timber is better against the Storm compared to the Bat Rider against the Storm.
Yeah. I mean, were they in these positions before they spotted anybody top lane? Because I guess the other thing to mention is that if you're expecting a one-position Pugna with a really fast push, then the Bat Rider can stall it a little bit longer than a low-level Timbersaw can. That would be my other thought. Like, the Bat Rider can just run in, put the Firefly in front of the tower if you see the push on its way, and you can by yourself stall it for a really long time. But we'll see what Vici Gaming end up doing with their lanes.
They initially rotated the Chen towards bottom lane as well, but as soon as they spot the supports leaving top from Vici Gaming and RTKs alone, they rotate. They didn't want to clash the 3 versus 3, so they were just trying to avoid as much as possible. And the ward placement here has been changed, if you notice. This ward for RTK.
Oh, and look at the look at the ping.
Look at that.
Yeah, wow. And I asked, is this going to be evolving over the next couple of weeks? And it has. So yeah, DD's like, it's gonna be a ward right here for sure. That's what they're doing for RTK on this offlane
They did
Bristle.
their homework. They did their homework, but RTK did his homework too.
Yeah, RTK one step ahead right now.
Yeah, the Bat Rider's gonna be not getting too much on the bottom, I feel like. Maybe just some levels. I don't think he's gonna get too much farm. And the jungle's occupied by the Chen, so he's gonna be stuck here for the moment.
Yeah, if the Chen wants to, I suppose he can. Well, he can't really spend too much time stacking things up for the Bat Rider later on. Maybe the Rubik can stack this side camp, but he doesn't really want to because one, there's no guarantee that the Bat can come and clear it, and the other thing is that if RTK sees you stacking that, he's going to start using that, pulling it into the lane, and just in general sowing chaos and getting his share of that experience. So I think it is going to be a pretty hard game for the Bat Rider, especially since I guess they do have the Timbersaw, who might be able to leave mid at some point, and they can bring the Bat Rider over there. But aside from that, I think it is going to be a little bit difficult for him to get his farm. And I guess it does go back kind of to the Chen, bringing down some tier 1 towers and getting some gold in that way.
Yeah, but it's still, I feel still really weird to not have the Timbersaw at the bottom and the Bat at middle. Like, I'm trying to figure out why, but I'm not getting anything. Because the Timbersaw will be a lot better against the tri-lane at bottom. The Bat Rider, I don't think he can get much farm from here. He's gonna just run in and try and steal some levels.
He's just looping around, gonna eat a Grave Chill, get a little bit of extra damage from Fenrir, so not the most productive trip from Xiaowei. And I guess the other surprising thing is, based on who's playing what, this does seem like it's a a more last moment adjustment as far as these lanes are concerned. Because what Yao is typically your offlane player and Xiaowei is normally your mid player for LGD.
Yeah, but if you look at the trade-offs right now, like personally feel that RTK would have the possibility to gain up more over the course of the next few minutes, as they have a Chen jungling, and he might get more last hits than the Bat Rider because he has Quill Spray, and the Bat Rider basically just has nothing to take last hits right now.
Rush to judgment.
Yeah, and he's just getting completely zoned out. Fenrir's spending a whole bunch of time just making sure that he doesn't approach the wave whatsoever.
Yeah. Getting a boot set early, you want to be able to get levels, and the boots didn't even give him one level. As for the situation right now, it's just so bad for him. He got completely zoned out the first 2 waves. There, he just got his level 2. But RTK is already level 3, so the offlane wise is better for Vici Gaming. And LGD is going to be ready to get a smoke gang off. They have a Centaur and a Chen smoked up behind.
Yeah, I didn't actually notice if RTK spotted this at all, but he is playing things pretty defensively.
He's like very safe, yeah. He's just doing the whole thing right. Trying to stand at the edge of the experience 1300 range and not getting too greedy at the same time. And he's just very difficult to gang at that particular spot. Even if the Chen tries to run up with the Rubik Leaf, and the Weaver was so far behind, even though if they get the Leaf and the stun, it's still not possible for them to kill him.
Yeah. Mid lane's going alright for both parties right now. Super and Yao both grabbing their farm. It looks like Super went for his boots before he ended up going for his bottle, and I think I guess a big reason for that is that the Rubik comes in with the Chen looking for a gank. If the smoke gets revealed on the edge of your vision, you can just run away from the Rubik. He's got terrible move speed ever since he
didn't really needed to use the regeneration as well, because the Timbersaw didn't really harass him enough. And one thing as well, actually I didn't see if the Storm started with a magic wand, so probably they were just thinking that the Storm, if they knew the Bat Rider would go middle, he starts with a magic stick, and they changed the matchup and the magic stick would be less valuable. I'm not very sure if he got it from the start.
Yeah, I think he might have had it at the start, just because, like you said, I think the expected lane, and especially based on who was playing what, was going to be the... it was going to end up being the Timbersaw in the off lane. The Troll comes in, so it looks like Yao's going to win the battle for this Invis rune, and Super might just have to bottle Crow. Yeah, Courier's already on its way out, so far, we're just sort of sitting and farming, a little bit of a lead in favor of the Radiant right now. They're actually pulling ahead ever so slightly in terms of experience. So it looks like Chen's been spending a lot of time.
Everything comes down to the bristleback, and like you said, the Chen hasn't been really focusing.
Gank on mid, Yao gets dragged back into the stun. They're charging up the Soul Assumption as well. Tries to pop the Invis, but
he almost got away. Oh, but they have sentries anyway. He would still die.
Yeah, FY came prepared. This is the second smoke from LGD. This time around looking for RTK top lane. They've also smoked DDC. He's in way too far. He's still pretty tanky. He's only got the 1 point up in the Bristleback, however. Gets hit by the Swarm, lifted back. They've still got the Troll Trap. And one more right click brings him down.
Vile apostate.
But he still like made them use a lot of effort to try and kill him, and it took them a really long while, and it wasn't first blood. So it wasn't still too bad for them. Like, they got the first blood before RTK died.
Yeah, and all this time, absolutely no pressure has been put on Super whatsoever. So RTK, I don't think he minds being ganked, just because the Storm Spirit has, like we talked about, a really important role to play in this game. And well, now he's managed to reach level 6, so now he's pretty safe.
He has to be the richest, like you said. He's an important core of this lineup. Since Sylar is on a hero like Pugna, you as a Storm have to be able to carry the game, because a Pugna is going to be... A Pugna can only do so much with farm.
Yeah, I mean he can generate a lot of farm for other people in the early game just by pushing down the towers, but yeah, there's only so much that he can build. I kind of like the decision from Vici Gaming to be more cautious on bottom lane with the pushes, but just because they haven't given away so much experience to Xiaowei, which they could have ended up doing if they'd just been pushing non-stop, though they are now moving in with the siege creep.
Yeah, this is most likely the reason why they want to leave the bat here, to slow down the push.
And does so very well. They even bring the Satyr down here as well. So LGD really want to hold on to this tier 1 tower, trying to neuter as much of the power of the safe lane Pugna as they can. I mean, the Pugna's going to farm well, but again, the goal of the hero is get down the tier 1 towers really quickly, get gold on your other cores, and kind of snowball from there.
Yeah, the Weaver, I'm not sure if he's gonna get a Midas this time around. Since he got the threats already, I don't think he'll be going for the Midas. This game is a good game for getting bottle plus Black King bar like the Chinese teams do. If they don't go Lincolns, they'll get bottle into the Black King bar. They have so many stuns, like it's going to be difficult for him to go into fights like without a BKB. Yeah, there he goes. He gets his bottle first. So pretty sure this is going to be a straight up BKB game for Rabbit.
Yeah, and I think it's the right choice. It still gives you the space to build into your damage items later on and be scary. And for Vici Gaming, they've got a safe lane Pugna, they've got a Storm Spirit. Yes, both of them can be fairly scary in the late game, but neither of them are really true carries. So I don't think that rushing the BKB is going to hurt Rabbit's long-term progression that much.
Yeah, there's going to be a huge stack here for Super. 3 stacks. Yeah, 3 stacks. He's going to do it and leave the middle lane for the Visage to take level there. So Vici Gaming are trying to send one hero to the jungle now, getting more levels from all the heroes. This is gonna be very important for the Visage to catch up. He's very low level.
Yeah, it's a really important adjustment to make, especially when you've got a support like a Nyx Assassin. Fenrir spent most of his early game kind of just harassing the Batrider, not really pulling, leaving the experience to both Sylar and the Nyx, and now this is his opportunity to catch up. So I think this has been planned from the start for Vici Gaming, and this is something that we see a lot of teams do, to adjust to the fact that defensive tri-lanes can't really get as much experience out of the jungle anymore.
And he's gonna be so happy for that regen rune.
Oh wow, super. Back into the jungle he goes, a little bit of extra farm. Yeah, he's gonna be very content with that one.
Both sides are just very content with taking their own farm right now. With VG Gaming taking down the first tier 1 tower at bottom lane, it's going to open up the game more. The next assassin is going to be level 6 soon, so the time will come soon for Vici Gaming to be on the aggressive side. Since they have Storm Spirit and Nyx Assassin, the Batrider has to farm his Blink Dagger before they can make any move, and he's 1,500 away at the moment. It's gonna come in the next 6 to 7 minutes, and it also depends whether LGD takes a tier 1 tower at top, and the tower is actually at full health.
Yeah, and Sylar has got 2,100 gold, so if he wants to start working towards the mech, could quite easily do so right now.
I don't think there's any other items that would boost his team's team fighting potential right now at the moment, 10 minutes into the game, other than a mecha.
Yeah, and RTK is not going to get a mech in any kind of reasonable time frame, unless you bring down a whole bunch more tier 1s. And LGD have already shown that they're really willing to defend these tier 1s, to take these early, to maybe take these early fights and prevent Vici Gaming getting that early game lead that their lineup is really based around.
If you look at LGD all the time, they are the team that prioritize a lot on taking fights early, and maybe they are one of the most stubborn teams that will never give you a tier 1 tower without a fight. I don't think anyone defends their tower like any other team like LGD. They are the team that defends each of their tier 1 towers until to the point where they can't defend it at all.
Yeah, they're completely unwilling to give away any of the gold whatsoever.
You want to get the tower, you have to fight for it.
Yeah. And they're already setting up a little bit over towards mid lane, so we've got wards keeping vision of anybody moving in, RTK snags the 10-minute urn, so that's going to be illusions up on top, but yeah, nothing going to end up coming of that. And LGD just moving over into the top left side of the map, getting farm out of their jungle, and I think largely just pressuring top lane and preparing for that first team fight when Vici Gaming turn up either to top lane or to mid.
There's something I want to tell you, Baseskip.
What's up, Winter?
Zero Midas.
Can it be? Well, we might jinx it if we talk about it too much. So yeah, but right now, no Midas.
No one's gonna get it. Pretty sure no one's gonna get it.
Let's knock and say you did.
Yeah, maybe if LGD like 4-0 Vici for this when they come in to push for this tier 1 tower, Rabbit is like, we're doing well enough, I'm gonna buy a Midas, but otherwise I don't see anybody else going for one here.
He got a Wraith Band and an Ogre Club already.
Okay, so he's just prepping for fight mode right now.
Top lane, they want to get RTK. There's no dagger on the bat yet. It's gonna lift into the lasso.
Lift him, drag him back into the lasso. Blast comes out as well, stolen by DDC. Big roll in from Super. The dust pops off. They're looking for the kill on Rabbit here. They are going to be able to get it, so it does end up being a 1-for-1 and a really nice pickup there for Vici Gaming as well.
That was really good trade for Vici Gaming, trading the Weaver for the Bracelet back. But it didn't really do as much damage as they would hope for, because Xiao Tuji spent all his gold, almost all his gold before that, into buying the Wraith Band and the Ogre Club. And he didn't reach him. He might have survived though, if he had the Ogre Cup. Might have survived. He just barely died there. Because FY didn't hit his Vendetta strike, he missed the Vendetta strike. And he ended up just impaling him.
Yeah, and I think they stacked a little bit of the stun as well, though I think he probably... Well, he might have survived. If you get down to even just 15 HP, you're mashing time-lapse, maybe you get out.
Yeah,
so.
you're just spamming the T button there, like hoping that you will get out.
Winter reveals that he's on legacy keys, guys.
I
have nothing to say legacy versus QWER. I know people that do both varying levels of skill, and I really don't think there's any advantage. It's just what you're used to.
I'm just used to it from
exactly. So, Vici gets some good damage down on this tier 1 top. They got some good damage down on the tier 1 mid as well. So after all of those trades, things working out pretty well for them. And LGD, little bit of, well, the vision ends up falling off a little bit. Looks like this ward on mid might have been dewarded. They've got some on the bottom side of the map, but don't really have a great idea of what Vici Gaming is doing
stuck
right
in
now.
a very bad spot right now. If they get a kill on him with FY,
this
is gonna be really huge damage on his farm.
Didn't even Shikuchi... The Shikuchi damage didn't even hit FY on the way through there, so no clue that there was...
Yeah, it doesn't hit in
escaping.
this unit.
Oh, right. Yeah. Derp.
Unless you have vision. Well, here comes
Yeah.
LGD smoke. They will not give you a tower without a price.
So, now they're kind of hoping that Vici Gaming split up in a weird way after this tier 1 tower.
This position is very advantageous for Vici Gaming. They have the high ground. If LGD turn back after seeing no heroes there, they could get caught in this position here.
Yeah,
like
I think they're gonna spot anybody with this ward.
Oh no, they're gonna run into each other, I feel.
They're about to run into each other up on this hill. The creeps spot things out. The swarm comes in. The blast. They're looking for this Batrider initiation with the lasso. They're going to try and bring down the Nether Ward. The Hand of God's already been used. Not too much damage just yet. Just to save the creeps. And Rabbit gets bursted down, dragged in closer. Yao trying to get in with the Chakram, but they just can't fight underneath the ward. DDC being focused by the supports from Vici Gaming, and LGD trying to retreat back to their tower. Xiaowe's gonna jump in, he drags back Fenrir, but the stun comes out. The Impale's on 2, they nuke down the Visage, but I think that's all they've got left in the tank. Yao still on the run, but a couple more right clicks bring him down. Double kill for Super. They're looking for more. DD under the tower, slowed down, buyback from Yao. Stun's gonna end up missing, but Sylar keeps up the chase. Another kill towards Vici Gaming. Super very low on mana. Yao trying to make his way in here to make use of this buyback, but Vici Gaming very safely retreat. And LGD, that was just a disaster. They used the Hand of God, didn't heal anyone, and then they tried to get in to kill the Nether Ward. That cost Rabbit his life, and...
Yeah, he tried to save his Chen creeps, actually.
Yeah, not sure if that was worth it, especially when you're up against the Bristleback and the Pugna. There's so much sustained AoE damage.
That position just won Vici Gaming the fight. There's nothing more I could say about that. They were just in a high ground position. They see LGD before LGD see them. Like in a team fight, whoever has vision and has info and knowledge about the position of the enemy will win the fight.
And another ward was in such an annoying place as well. It was all the way back here. We saw Rabbit try to run up and in to auto attack it, but just got stunned to death. And yeah, LGD, this is starting to look pretty bad. They're down 7.5k gold. They're down 5k experience. They just lost the last fight. They're out of tier 1 towers, and looks like, do they want to smoke? Do they even have one left?
They have lasso. They want to fight here. They want to catch someone, but Vici Gaming is in a very good position to respond to that. If anyone gets lasso, the teammates are always going to be so near, and Storm can zip in and orchid the Timbersaw from... If they don't let the Timbersaw cast his spells, if they lasso RTK might not die.
Yeah, I mean, there's a mech ready to back him up. Silo's actually got a 4-staff picked up as well. And
this is a very good timing for them to smoke up. They're going to show RTK at top lane, so LGD sees RTK at top lane. Like, the first thing that comes to their mind, RTK might be protected by several bodyguards, and Vici Gaming is just waiting someone to see the rune, 60-minute rune. Oh yeah.
Yeah, makes his way down, he gets silenced, he gets dragged back, he gets bursted down, no problem. FY chasing into Rabbit. DD on the retreat as well, but Super keeps on going, spots out DD, Xiaowei comes in, he's gonna drag Super, but there's still a mech, and the Carapace stun keeps the Batrider locked into position, so 3 brought down by Vici Gaming. And This is looking better and better for them. Rabbit runs in, gets hit by the dust. He's still got the time lapse. The Hand of God used as well to try and get him out of here. He time lapses a little ways back. And looks like he's going to be able to retreat out, but Vici Gaming still going to clean up the Chen creeps. Super found a little bit of mana. He rolls in on top of DD. Couple more right clicks along with the mana burn. Finish off the Chen. Ends up being a 4-for-1 trade overall. And Vici Gaming have their sights set on this tier 2.
The Chen was microing his creeps. He used his creeps to kill the Visage, but he lost his hero at the same time.
And this is such a sad situation for Chen. You're about to lose this tier 2. You've got not very much control over your jungle.
Oh,
the
Rabbit
enemy
got stunned up.
Oh, Rabbit stunned, silence well, not dragged yet, but drained. And he's going to be brought down. Super safe by the mech one more time. Xiao gets hit by the Carapace stun.
There's another stun.
Familiar drops as well. Keep him locked in position. Yao able to retreat, but LGD just losing towers and heroes and towers and heroes.
That stun was so good. That stun was so good.
Which? The
NA stun. The Weaver never expected to be in range of the Impel at all. That's why he was just standing there trying to deny the tower. But because the Nyx, he was basically FY was standing at a range where he was quite far away from the Weaver. So the Weaver, he didn't feel, Xiao Tuji didn't feel like there was an immediate danger that he was going to get stunned. But FY managed to clip him with the last range of the Impel, and they just killed him there. That was just so good.
Yeah, very nicely played by Vici Gaming so far. So they're at a huge lead. 10k gold, 10k experience. Super jumps in, kills DDC. No problem.
Oh, this is just very bad for the Chen already. He's gonna die again.
Aw, DD, he's just over in the jungle trying to rebuild his army, but he gets slowed down. Familiar's coming in as well. Sylar 4-staffs in, drops the Decrepify, drops the Blast. Soul Assumption's gonna finish that kill. LGD trying to save the Chen if they can. Super's gonna find Rabbit all the way down on the bottom side of the map, and Xiao, he's had enough for this first game. Gonna call an 18-minute GG.
Dire's top tower is up.
One fight decides the whole game. The fight where LGD was hoping that they would meet Vici on their terms, fight on their terms. They are on their side of the jungle, but instead they were caught up on the low ground, and that was after that fight. It was over for them. The Chen lost all his control on the game, and Vici Gaming could just take fight after that, having such a huge lead over their fight.
Yeah, they could at that point really do whatever they want. And LGD, it seemed like they wanted to try and get another gank off with the Batrider, and when we saw them all grouped up there, I think that was the plan. But they also ended up using 2 smokes early game to try and kill ROTK, and I don't know if they actually had any left at the point where they grouped up one more time after losing that fight, because they also used a smoke to go and try and find that fight after the tier 1 fell. So LGD didn't quite have the tools that they wanted to use for that. But Super gets out of control. He's 6-0-8. And that's going to actually wrap up our first game very quickly. So Vici Gaming now 1-0 in this best of 3 winner bracket final for the SinaCup. I've been Basecap. It's been great casting so far. And nice that we're finally able to get underway with these games after the delay that we had getting them started. Joining me is Winter, and we're going to be back hopefully pretty soon with our second game at this best of 3.